Good morning, everyone. I'm here with my coffee and Rich Eisenhuth of HomeTrust Mortgage. I work with Rich a lot. He's so great to work with. So I wanted to talk to him a little bit today about some of the frequently asked questions that I get from buyers and sellers about the financing side of real estate. So, Rich, just give a quick introduction.
Great. Thanks for inviting me here today, Jamie. I appreciate it. I'm with HomeTrust Mortgage. I help clients find the best way to finance their properties and, importantly, clarify some of their options so they can make great decisions when they're purchasing a home.
And Rich is not only super easy to work with, he always makes the process fun. You may not think it's a fun process, but he can make it fun. And I want to go through a few frequently asked questions. And the first is, what's the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval?
That is a great question. Currently, a pre-qualification is usually when you have a conversation with a lender on the phone and the lender asks you a few questions about your income, about the time frame that you've worked, about how much money you're going to put down, and they say, okay, based on that information, you pre-qualify for a home of X amount of dollars. They might even say pre-approved, because based on that information, they can put that info into an automated underwriting system and it comes up approved, and you feel that you are ready to go out and purchase the home of your dreams.
Okay. And why is it so important to get pre-approved before searching for a home?
Great. So that brings in the difference with a legitimate pre-approval, which in my world requires the prospective buyer to send us their pay stubs, send us their W-2s, send us their statements of assets as well too, so we can review them and make sure that there are no little variations that might be of a concern to a prospective lender down the line. So we're going to evaluate those and make sure that those are underwritten and approved for the individuals who are going out to purchase, and therefore they can go out confidently then and feel that they have the money behind them and that their process from that point forward is going to be a smooth process then.
And I totally agree, because if I'm showing people property and they fall in love with the house, you don't want to have to go back to the lender and find out that maybe that's not feasible for them, or they're not comfortable with what their monthly payment would be. So I agree, it's so important to talk to a lender before you get that process started. And so after we do find the perfect house for a buyer, what are the next steps? I feel like I hear a lot of times that buyers think, well, I got pre-approved, so like they don't need anything else, right? We're good to go. And so what are the next steps from the financing perspective?
Great. So it's very important at that point that we update the paperwork that we've received. So we might issue a pre-approval, let's say in February, and we come around to April, and a closing might be, if it's a 60-day closing, in June. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that that paperwork's updated and that nothing has changed from the initial pre-approval point. As well, the market can change, the interest rate market can change, programs can change as well too. So at that point, I always like to engage with the buyer and update them, make sure that our documentation is updated and that we are fitting them to a loan program that's going to be optimal for their needs.
Okay. And then the last thing, what's your single best piece of advice for someone who's thinking about buying a home in the next year?
Great. Well, first off, reach out to Jamie and get connected with her. But I think it's just super important to really get those financing details out of the way to begin with. We are still in a very, very competitive real estate market. And sometimes when you go and find a property, you have to make decisions quickly. And if you are equipped with the proper knowledge beforehand and you've had the information reviewed and you're confident, you can make a quick decision as opposed to thinking, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I don't know if I can afford this property. Is this going to be right for me? There might be another buyer in there that can take your place.
Yeah.
And defeat you in that negotiation process. If you're properly pre-approved, sometimes we can beat out even cash buyers if we can come to them confidently enough with the value of the buyer that we're bringing to the table.
So it's all about doing your homework, and that starts with you. All right. Well, Rich, it's been so helpful to talk with you today. If anyone has any questions for Rich, I'm happy to connect you. So just let me know, and have a great day.